Achieving financial success takes dedication, discipline, and most importantly, a plan. For over 30 years, Don Reynolds has helped savers define their needs, formulate their plans, and achieve their goals. From accumulation to preservation and protection, and through the income distribution phase in retirement, implementing the right strategies makes all the difference. Your retirement is our business. Welcome to Strategic Asset Preservation.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another episode of Reynolds Wrap. I'm Don Reynolds, and of course, Corey Stilt, my good friend.
Good to see everybody again.
So today we're going to talk about what we call the 9 critical risks that you must plan for in retirement. The key there is retirement, because some of these really don't matter. And what they are is you've got sequence risk. Some of you have heard it called sequence of return risk. We have legislative risk. We have withdrawal rate risk, healthcare costs, long-term care, spousal income, market volatility, taxation, inflation, and of course, longevity. So with that, we'll go ahead and jump in. We'll talk about the first one. I'll let Corey get started.
I'll start with longevity, the bottom one there, just because I believe that's something that, again, we all need to be real with today. As we look at our longevity, our history, our length of life that we're going to face, it has increased significantly over the recent years due to medical science advancements. I think our health, our diet, we're paying attention to that much more, supplements and vitamins and whatnot. And the reason I wanted to start with that one is because as we talk about and highlight some of the other ones here, folks, longevity just is a magnification of all these other risks that Don lists. So when you look at the other 8 risks, and again, we'll highlight a couple of them, spend just a brief minute on some of the others. The longer you live, the more you might face a spousal need of income, or the more you might face legislative risk or sequence of return risk. It's just that magnification. So with us and all of our clients that we work with, we have a plan that is going to go through age 100. Now, again, a lot of people laugh at that age when they see that. They'll never make it there. But when you start looking at most recent studies, there's a significant amount, and it's almost over 50% of us in a married situation that one of the spouses in that situation will live into their middle to late 90s. So you don't want to have a plan that only lasts into your 80s or middle 80s and then have another 10 or 15 years of life beyond that. Without having a plan in place. So again, make sure you're real with yourself. Make sure whomever you're working with is real with the longevity piece and has a plan that will last you to age 100 and the magnification of all these other risks that come with that.
Exactly. So jumping into one of the next ones, inflation. Again, it comes back to the longer you retire, the more inflation. So again, longevity, it ties right into inflation because again, the longer you're in retirement, the more inflation you're going to pay, so to speak, are eroding on your dollars for purchasing power. So you have to find some way to accommodate inflation. That's something we really plan. You got Social Security, you get some COLAs, cost of living adjustments, but also there's programs out there, like there's some pensions. Again, those are kind of the exception, not the rule anymore, but some pensions go up, but most of them don't. So they're not helping you to keep up with inflation. So there are programs out there that can, if you will, have income that's guaranteed, and that income can increase over time. So that's just one of the avenues that we could address inflation for you.
Yeah, and the next two I'll kind of put together would be taxation and legislative risk. Obviously, taxation, we understand the significance there. You understand and know how we feel about it here at Strategic Asset Preservation. And the plan that we have in that, we'd like to help people do 3 things. Again, not always possible. We like to look at reducing taxation on your income, maximizing Social Security, and then maximizing your income. So taxation is a big piece of that. And that legislative risk kind of plays into that because that's the future changes. We can predict, we can look at, we can keep a pulse on our legislature and our government. And they can have significant changes and law changes in multiple areas. But really, when it comes to retirement, the tax future planning and the law changes they can have around taxes, again, if you don't have a plan that addresses and looks at the taxation of your investments, your dollars, your assets, and how that's going to play out into your future, and how do required minimum distributions play out, again, those are 2 risks that can be kind of lumped together that you have to make sure to address in your retirement.
Yep, exactly. So with that, I'm going to talk about 2 that kind of go hand in hand, sequence risk and market volatility. So while you're working and building your nest egg, these really don't affect you a whole lot because like what we're experiencing right now with markets, they're going down. And so as your dollar cost averaging, which I hope you're doing that, folks, you're just getting more shares of the investments that you're putting your dollars to work for you in. And then when things turn around, and they will, you're going to have that much more growth in there. So market volatility and sequence risk don't affect you in your working years. However, when you retire, it's 180 degrees different. And it's very hard for people to get their arms and their heads around that because we get conditioned. That's what I call it. We've been conditioned for 30, 40 years or 50 that we've dollar cost averaged. And then the day you retire, there is no more dollar cost averaging. And that's when you got to change your philosophy and your belief. And now you have to start looking at the volatility and the sequence risk, because that can directly affect how long those assets will last in retirement.
Absolutely. And that's, again, a big passion we have. And we've got software that we can actually show clients exactly how that can play into their retirement. Spousal income, real important to myself. Obviously been married for almost 32 years here soon, and something that we talk about often in my personal situation with our clients as well. Make sure that a plan, if you are married, have a significant other, and have to make sure that that income is going to be there should there be a survivorship. One of the big things around spousal income is look at the money that will walk out the door. What I mean by that is my wife, Laura, and I, again, get into retirement. And if something happens or one of us survives the other, one thing that will for sure leave is the lower Social Security. With a survivor, we'll keep the higher Social Security, but that lower benefit will walk out the door. And depending upon what that dollar can be, if it's $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 that you're going to lose instantly. And then the taxation of a single tax filer, if you have not looked at that and addressed that in your retirement plan, please make sure to give us a call, and please make sure to look at that. Because again, the single tax filer absolutely gets hammered, as we like to say, in the taxes compared to married filing jointly.
Exactly. And then let's talk about healthcare and long-term care. Healthcare costs, obviously, I don't think they'll ever stop going up. It's kind of a given that, and when we do a plan for folks, we're actually putting in 5% inflation for healthcare costs across the board. We do that, and we think that's realistic. I think we're meeting the objective there. I really do. But the fact is you need to be planning for that. When you work, a lot of employers are paying a good chunk of that. But when you retire, it all lands in your lap. You got your Medicare cost, your Advantage plans, drug plans. So it changes when you retire. And then, of course, long-term care, we always talk about the elephant in the room, because that's really what that is. There is no question about it. That is the biggest financial risk facing every single one of us in retirement. Your average cost today for long-term care is between $80,000 to $100,000. All we always say about that is have some kind of a plan, whatever it may be. You got to have a plan for that one. If you don't, that can bite you really hard. And the one thing about longevity is it kind of magnifier with long-term care, because the longer we live, the more care we're going to need later in life. Because healthcare, the way it's set to today, good or bad, they're doing whatever they can to keep us alive. Not necessarily that we want to be, but again, maybe you've got the healthcare directive, so you don't have to deal with that. But their objective is to keep people alive. That's their job. It's their responsibility. Doesn't mean you're going to have better quality of health, and so therefore you may require a longer term of long-term care, which again can drastically reduce assets very quickly. Yeah. So again, what we say is plan for that, folks. That's something we specialize in. We're both certified in the partnership program, and I've had many people who have used long-term care policies that I've marketed, and I can tell you it saves their estate. And I've also seen the other side of it. We don't want to get into that because it's pretty negative. Yeah. So with that, we're just saying these are big, critical things you need to plan for in retirement.
Yeah, please give us a call if you'd like to talk about any of these further, or go through the plan, or if you'd like us to email or send you the 9 critical risks that you have to address in retirement. Again, these are risks that you may not face in your working years or your accumulation years. They are different upon hitting that wall, as Don says, getting into that retirement phase and stage and age. So give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you further about them and get you the list itself. Our phone number is 651-773-3859. Again, 651-773-3859.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, folks. We appreciate your time, and we hope we're bringing you some value with this stuff. And with that, everybody take good care, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great day, folks.
Listen to more with Don Reynolds and Corey Stilp on the Strategic Asset Preservation Podcast by visiting 800preserve.com.
The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.